Yo, what up? It's your boy New Face from Flight Skool Tv, and we down here at Succezz with my man's V-Dot.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Thank you for coming into Flight Skool. We're in Succezz in Chicago, 1329 South Michigan. What's up, my partner Bobby Simmons? What's poppin', guys? How you guys? You in the city? What's up?
So how long y'all been open?
We've been open 8 years now. Going on 9th year. It'll be our 8th year. June 21st, our anniversary. So 8-year anniversary. 8 years in the game. You know, 8 years since this store opened itself. So,
see,
yeah.
8-9 years. That's a solid time to have your footprint in Chicago. Do you feel like the public, even outside of Chicago, is giving y'all the respect that y'all feel like y'all deserve? For a company to survive, you know, in this up and down marketplace, to be here for 9 years, that's an accomplishment.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think it can grow more, but I think we do get a lot of love from around the world. So our consumers come from all around the world to come to our store. It can grow. It can get better and bigger. I've been doing this. Still been open 9 years. I've been doing this industry game for 25 years though.
Right.
I've been selling shoes since I was a kid.
Right.
At Tony Sports back in the early 90s.
Yeah.
I mean,
See, a lot of people don't know about Tony Sports.
Before you thought about what sneaker culture was, before you thought of what a hype beast was, wasn't a hype beast. It was just guys who rock sneakers and love sneakers, and they mom and Bama pair.
For the people outside of Chicago that might not know what Tony Sports was to Chicago, explain to them what Tony Sports was.
Like I said again, Tony Sports was like the Waltz of Atlanta. It was the Jimmy Jazz of New York. It was the flea market of Dade County, Miami. It was like the swap meet in California. It's these things that we was a culture. We was like the place to go to. If you didn't see it nowhere, we had it first. We was like the trendsetters. So before you could see it on somebody's person, you would see it in a video. We would go out and get it. We would go travel state to state, go and buying stuff.
Yeah, because I was told that, you know, it's a little bit above my generation, but I was told that when they had certain, like even with Air Force Ones, they was doing certain colorways that you actually had to travel to that state to get that colorway.
Yeah, it wasn't so much of it. It wasn't a big culture, so it wasn't like a big wave. So to get a shoe, you had to go somewhere else and get another state to get it. Everybody get the same products,
right?
Because everybody couldn't see the same stuff.
Right,
like
but now it's kind of different, right?
It's a different world now. Things are faster. We created a faster lane. So think about it. Our parents went from steppers to basketball sneakers to making it a fashion thing now. We played in it to really just wearing them. No one wears Barclays to wear Barclays in. They wear Barclays to walk in. We bought them back then to play in. You had to bound really play in. We went and got some Barclays and Jordans to go hoop and score like Jordan scored 50. Don't score 50 like Jordan scored 50.
Right, so you want to hit the court fresh.
I didn't hit the court about sneakers go rock them, look fresh and take an Instagram picture. No, that exists now time.
Yeah,
our time was
transition into fashion.
It's fashion. Our time was, man, you need it for purpose.
Right.
Now it's like a piece of art. It's artwork now. It's fun.
Right.
Before it was like a necessity. Now it's just fun.
So Tony Sports was really one of the first spots that was really putting on for the city, putting on for Chicago in general.
Yeah,
one of the big places that was putting on.
Tony's was one of the first minorities, like really minority
right.
Shoes. Like yeah, like City Sports. You had Diana, City Sports. You had all these. You had Dreamtown. These other stores like Korean stores. But that was their Korean-owned stores. Then Tony was like a Spanish guy up north. Really started selling dress shoes. Then late 90s when hip hop kicked in, tried changing over to British Knights and Elites and Treat Torns and the hip hop game.
Right.
So hip hop game really started the culture. And then basketball kicked in to get the gear, and it just was like a great thing. So Tony was like really one of the places you can go get anything from. Like if you wanted some Iceberg, Sean John, Fat Farm, you had to go to Tony Sports. You couldn't go to the mall. Mall didn't have it yet.
Right.
Wasn't no mall store shop.
Right. Because they wasn't even putting that stuff in mall.
No, mall. The companies didn't go to mall.
Right.
They went to small mom and pop shop. It's basically like we was the ones that started like the wave. They go from inside out basically.
Right.
Now they're going outside in. You know, so yeah, it was a cool thing. It was dope.
From my understanding, from what I was taught, you know, like I said, I was a little bit younger coming up, but from what I understand, from what I was taught from my OG sneakerheads that I go to for advice, and even my uncles, they was telling me that when back in the day when you bought a shoe, it was kind of hard getting that shoe home, and especially in Chicago because there was so many people. Like I heard a story where people actually had to deny the store bag. Like, I don't want the store bag. Give me a black bag so people don't know I'm walking out with these J's.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, back then it's like you just get robbed for shoes more often than you do now. People say like, yeah, get robbed for shoes. Back then, you got so many of them now, you don't get robbed no more that much. But back then, you get robbed. You couldn't wear them because it was a high demand. Everybody couldn't get them. So if you had a pair, you wouldn't go in and say, give me. I'll take another bag. You lived in the hood. Where you stayed at, big thing. Tony's up north side, right? Tony's up north. You stayed on the south side. So it's like, can you come back in the hood with a Tony Sports bag? You a victim. You got some.
They know what time it is.
You got some of that bag sweet.
Yeah.
And ours is, you know, you got the lions in the jungle, and they hungry. They don't come look for the food. So
Right.
You that guy that ain't cool, but you want to be smooth. And back then, yeah, they'll take us niggas. Yeah, you have to do that. Yeah. Also another trick to, like, for example, before they would drop, we tell people, like, no, hey, check this out. You know what? These ain't out yet. We have samples in our store. We sell samples. Before a shoe drop, we have a sample of it.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't even ever seen it before.
Right.
We sell to sample somebody. We tell somebody, you know what? We can't give you a Tony Sports bag. Anybody bag, we give you a plain black bag. Take around that bag. Because that sound bag was like the heat. Like, you had Agassiz, Jordans, Air Max, Air Force Ones you never ever seen. So they even make.
Right.
Because people make prototype stuff they never even make.
Right.
So we had access to that stuff back then. That's what made the game really fun for us back then.
So, like you dropping basically the history of fashion in Chicago, as far as like the underworld, you can say, like not the mainstream. Oh, you go to this mall, you go to this mall. You talking about what the streets was doing and how people was able to access their shoes back then.
Right.
Going to places like Tony Sports.
Right.
So, I mean, that history alone would make me question, like, why do you feel like Chicago get enough credit as far as like pioneering like styles? I mean, it cross over to music, it cross over to fashion, it cross over to really everything that's going on in entertainment. I feel like Chicago plays a major role in it. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I do feel the same way. As you stated, yeah, Chicago, we want to create a house music. We created, like, you know, Jordan is from Chicago.
Right.
If it wasn't for Jordan in Chicago, it wouldn't be no Michael Jordan. So we rocked Jordans first when everybody's rocking outside the city.
Right.
Whereas back then when Jordan got popular, you couldn't, other cities, you had to be a Jordan fan about some Jordans.
Right.
Everybody was no Jordan fan at first. And that's just in Chicago. If you love Michael, it was Michael Jordan from Chicago. It was our star. So we had we created the bubble, the sellouts, the lines, you know, the oil launches. We created the hype. We created the rivalries and stick-ups. That was from Chicago first.
Right.
You got stuck up your J's in Chicago.
Right.
Because you couldn't get them out the city.
Exactly.
So we created the whole hype. You know, like the Air Force One thing. Like, we have designed the Air Force One, like the Air Force One logo with the logos inside of it. That was our idea back in the 1995. Like I know now, I have designed this shoe back in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
So we really had control of the industry. Tony Sports did in the industry, and like I said again, we don't get as much exposure as we need to get. I just opened up my stores now as I realized that we didn't have our own thing. Like I opened up my own store because I wanted to have my own business.
Right.
I saw that every store was owned by either somebody else except us or my color tone,
right.
or anybody. One of the minorities.
Right.
When the losers, the little men have a chance.
People from lower income communities trying to be successful.
Exactly. I didn't see that, so I said, no, I want my own shoe store. So I woke up one morning, just decided to open my own shoe store, and I know that Chicago wasn't getting the most exposure we getting. Like, I was like, why am I getting y'all? I'm a shoe head, so I love since I was a little kid. So I'm thinking, why am I getting these undefeated shoes? Why am I getting all these shoes that people are getting around the country?
Right.
LA getting shoes, New York getting shoes, Chicago ain't getting nothing. Like, damn, why it ain't here with no market for it?
Right.
It's a market, but
it's a market here, but also
it wasn't exposed. There's no exposure. Nobody exposed it to it. It wasn't exposed. It was like a good kept secret.
He's still setting trends.
Yeah, it was the best kept secret though.
Right.
We was like the shh. Don't talk about Chicago.
Right,
Think about look at music. Look, Kanye West. He's Kanye West, Don C right now. They control the industry in fashion, really. Or Virgil control fashion, and that's Chicago.
Right.
This ain't New York. This is Chicago guys.
Chance.
These are Chicago guys setting trends.
Right.
He got you going wearing coveralls. That's Chance.
Right.
Kanye got you wearing. Don got you wearing snakeskin hats. That's Chicago. You know, he got Jay-Z wearing. He got you wearing jerseys. That's Chicago.
Right.
You know, they got you actually wearing Jordans, Air Force Ones, Air Max. It's a Chicago shoe. You know.
Yeah, and every Don C, every Yeezy that's come out,
think about it, it sells out. It's mine.
Immediately.
And that's Chicago inspiring the culture.
It
so
is.
we are taking our right place in the culture, but we need more people like you and myself to continue to wave that bandwagon and not make it hype and make it a passion.
Because one thing that I noticed is that with Succezz, like you got your personal clothing line in here,
yes.
your t-shirts, and I mean, such as other brands. Just to give a shout out to a few other brands, you know, Leaders. Shout out to Fashion Geeks,
exactly.
You know, Fuck Fame. It's a lot of brands that's out here like doing their thing, but
right.
like the even Juggernaut. Shout out to Juggernaut.
Juggernaut's in the building, yes.
And it's just one thing that I wonder is that with the success of you see Bait, which is an overseas brand,
mm-hmm.
and they getting Jordan collaborations, they getting Nike accounts, and they getting so much. They so much involved in the mix of the fashion world. Even once again, I'm not knocking any brand because man, sometimes I wear those brands, but I'm just saying, like, even Supreme, you know, it started as a local T-shirt company, but they're more new than some of the brands that you see setting trends a long time ago.
Supreme wouldn't be a good one to use. Supreme been around for 20 years almost. They've been around for a long time. I said Supreme's like thing. I hear you saying you think Chicago our brand should get more exposure than we get now. We're not getting the shine we need.
I mean,
Chicago,
yeah,
right.
that's what I mean. Like right now,
Supreme, got Supreme undefeated.
They hype has just really started bubbling.
It kicked in.
But at the same time, if they've been doing it for about 20 years,
right.
But it's been companies in Chicago that's also been doing it just as long.
Right.
But for some reason we just don't see the correlation. We don't see the relationships that they get in New York and Chicago.
That's how it's always been though. Same thing with music. That's how we've always the underdogs. We got to earn our right. We got to fight for what we want. It will come in time. Like you said, Leaders, St. Alfred's. You just named all these Chicago brands that are dope brands. Juggernaut, Leaders, Fashion Geek, like Succezz own brand. You got Robotic Minds. And we are stepping to our arena now. Before it didn't exist in Chicago though. Before these brands, Leaders, St. Alfred's, Fashion, Album, Geek been around for 10 years now. Before that, wasn't no brand in Chicago though. There wasn't none. So now we're creating that culture. Hopefully, if we stop doing what we're doing, or we trying to do something different, y'all generation to take over, the next person under us to take over, and then to get that exposure. We're going to open the door for you guys. It's next for the next young generation to take over, and hey, this is where we are now. Let's boom it. Use our resources that we got, and you got to utilize the resources that we didn't create. Open doors open, and it happens. It's going to happen.
Yeah. So do you see?
I see global brands.
Do you see a
global
Succezz
brands. Yeah,
collaboration coming?
I guarantee. I see Succezz collaboration. I see a Fashion Geek collaboration. I see a Leaders collaboration. I see our brands going globally though. Really, I really saw our brand. I know it. Fly.
Right.
Because the thing is, we love this shit.
Right.
And we gonna keep be hungry for it. So we know it's not. Like I said, it's not here. So we see the opportunity to making it here for us. So we're gonna do everything we can do it to make it come here. We're gonna become that household name brand. We will.
Because I mean, if you just step back and. For those not from Chicago, we're not trying to diss any other city.
No, we're not. No.
We love everybody. You know, it's a us thing versus them thing, and it's not a us meaning Chicago. It's me us as a people thing. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that in the future, do you see Nike, Jordan brand starting to pay attention to places like this? Because really, when you think about it, you got to step back and think about it. We are setting the wave for every genre of music, every entertainment industry. You hear our slang. You hear people saying "dot." You hear people saying "gang gang." You know the style of music.
It's always become Chicago.
You know the way people dress. The even what goes on in certain communities, they kind of mimic the structure that was developed in Chicago.
True.
So, at what point in time do you think they will start paying homage?
They're doing it now. It's slowly but surely. It's happening now because look, I said again before you mentioned Don C, you mentioned Virgil. So doors are opening now for these brands. As I've said before, I think once. You go to New York and LA, right? They have a culture already for that already. LA, you got music already in LA. New York, there's music already. There's no Capitol Records in Chicago.
Right.
There's no manufacturing for T-shirts in Chicago.
Right.
If it is we got to try to find them.
Right.
You got to outsource our stuff. So you go to New York, you got manufacturers. You go downtown, you find a reseller or a wholesaler anywhere in New York. You go get some clothes made anywhere in New York. Same thing in California. But once that comes here in Chicago, we start getting manufacturing companies here. We start getting the brands that come here and help us to grow. That's when it's possible. All them brands that you just named, somebody helped build them brands up. Like another company from somewhere else, a parent company, helped get them that brand. Like I said, Nike's working with Don C now. You know, Nike's working with Virgil now. Nike working. We have Nike. We top Nike account in the country, in the Midwest, really. There's no store that gets more Nike Jordan than we get.
Right.
We are the top account. We do get our exposure, but like now it's time to raise the bar and get more exposure and keep opening that door wider and wider and wider. Like we had a pop-up shop with Nike last year. We had a pop-up shop. No one had a pop-up shop with Nike in Chicago. Nike paid for a door for us to have a store.
Right.
No one does that. No one has had that. That's the thing with Don C. They get Don C. It's like his third or fourth shoe now. So like I said again, but that's from work that we've been putting in for so long. Steady knocking that door. Let us in.
Right.
And like we steady hungry. And like I said again, you can see the hunger in our eyes and the passion in what we do, and like really love. We really gangbang. Like we really gangbang for what we want. We gonna take what we want. You gonna give it to us. We gonna take it. So we come with or without you. So you gonna figure it out. Like no matter what you gonna see us on the East Coast, West Coast. We gonna make you come down. We gonna bring you here. It's gonna come here. This would be the third. This would be the in time. We probably end up being the biggest fashion market out of both two cities, guaranteed.
I can see that. I can see that happening, especially with the transition of like music has a history of tying into fashion.
Yes.
And it's kind of like one go with the other. It's just like
they sisters and brothers.
Whatever you rapping about, you dress like that.
That's how it's always been.
Yeah, so it kind of, and then with Chicago having so much of an influence on music, it's kind of seemed like it's just eventually gonna come around. But what do you think it's gonna take for us to get these manufacturers and things like that in Chicago?
Us to continue doing what we're doing and like supporting each other, like do what you're doing, like going and show people that success is somebody's. They're here.
Yeah.
You know, it's the exposure we get. It's more exposure. The more exposure we get. So, not saying it's not happening. It needs to happen more. It needs to continue to happen. We just can't give up because it ain't happening today.
Right.
You know, it's say like it ain't happening now, but guarantee it has to happen. If we keep supporting each other, like I support these, I support St. Now, I support every store in Chicago. I don't care about my brand. Who cares?
How I am.
I don't care if I got a store. Who cares about my store?
Right.
I care about the city as a whole.
Exactly.
And getting one thing together. And that's like I said, making this a big mecca. That way, it is for everybody doing good. You know, everybody really happy and smiling because they're really doing good off what they're doing, their passion.
Right.
So it's not for the money, it's for the love.
Right.
A lot of us do what we do because we like it, not because we want to need money. No, we like this shit. We really like.
So personally, you really been in the game for. If you had to toss all the numbers,
23. I've been in the game 23. Let me see. 24 years now, consistently. 24 years straight, non-stop. Every summer, never had a summer off. I've been making money this year.
Like some of the people you probably dealt with in the past. I mean, I know you done probably dealt with a lot of people, man.
Man, we didn't have everybody. Like you can name an artist, athlete, T.I., Gucci Man, Jeezy, Plies, Puffy and them came in here. We did the pop shop with Puffy. I knew Nelly was Nelly. I knew Nelly before he started. Before he came to Lunatic, he was Lil Nelly.
Yeah.
I knew Chief Keef before he came Chief Keef. He shot me here before he was even Chief Keef.
Yeah.
He was just Lil Keef on the block. You know what I mean? Bum J, who's Bum J. Nas. I didn't touch some of everybody, bro. Wiz Khalifa. Big Sean. Before Big Sean became Big Sean, he was in the shop without in our store. We dressed too many people and rocked so many people around the NFL players. You know.
So people know.
Yeah.
So people know.
They got collections though. Cause these guys got collections sneakers that ain't like no other. Though.
Exactly.
These guys like we don't. I've been for so long. I don't say everybody. I saw retro. I saw retro one for the retro one. I really thought it was the one. When the retro was the one.
So, let me ask you this. Since we talk about collections and everything, like a question I always ask on my show, of my guests, is what would be your top 3 shoes if you had to nail them down to 3 shoes? What would be your top 3?
My favorite 3. I can't say that, bros. I honestly I've been doing. I can't say my top 3 styles. I can give you my 3 styles.
Yeah.
I can't give my top 3s. I'd be lying. I like all shoes.
Right.
My top 3 styles are retro 3s. Air Max 95s, and hard to say. Air Force Ones depends on Air Force One here. I'm a natural connoisseur of sneakers, so top 3 with them 3 brands. I rock Nike my whole life. I mean, I see all the brands. I rock other brands.
Right.
I rock Adidas. I rock Pony, Puma, all that stuff. But them are my favorite go-to sneakers. It's like I grew up off. It's what it's in my DNA.
So I mean, with 23 years in the game,
sick.
I know your collection got to be crazy. We're gonna have to set up an exclusive interview just for that, man. We gotta talk about that off camera a little bit.
That, man. I've been collecting my whole life, man. So you think about, I think I have every shoe that ever dropped. That almost every shoe that people really drop. I'll be missing a few here and there, but I'm shit.
That's what's up, man.
The mayor's my cousin, probably.
Yeah, that's what's up.
The mayor got some shit. Khaled, come for you, Khaled.
Yeah.
I'm best kept secret, baby.
Best kept secret, man. It's Flight Skool TV down here with my man V-Dot. Man, I just want to thank you for your time, man. Welcome me into your store.
Thank you for the blessing, brother.
Much love, man. Flight Skool TV.
I want to get shout out to all the stores in Chicago, man. Hey, keep doing y'all thing, guys. Hey, we here, baby. Kick us out now. Too late.